It's funny. Although he's very graceful, anytime Jelly and I have attempted couples dancing, he's had a profound disinclination to lead. But in sex, he tends to take a very traditional masculine role. He's surprisingly uncomfortable letting someone else take over. He doesn't really like fellatio. He even stooped to invoke national stereotypes in regard to our differing opinions on the subject. Bon, he said, tu es américaine, as though that explained anything. When I said I thought that had little to do with this, he relented. This message about l'amitié amoureuse, of course, followed one of our early visits. He'd been very warm, almost effusive in his affections. We stayed up late after sex talking about film, politics, music, and books. One night we were lying in bed together. There was a pause in the conversation. I kissed his shoulder. He drew my head upward, brushed the hair from my eyes, and said, "I want to play something for you." We were both naked. He got his kora from the corner and propped himself up at the head of the bed and began to play. Imagine being the unique and privileged listener to the most beautiful music in the world. He began to sing softly in that haunting falsetto of his. It was an old song, traditional, one of the first his father had taught him. A tear rolled down his cheek as he sang. Afterwards, he wiped away the tear and said that sometimes he cried like this when he played for his sons. He said he was moved because he knew I was hearing this beautiful song for the first time. But just at the end of my stay in Paris, he seemed to pull back. There was that awkward conversation about fragmentation. Things were complicated with Marianne. There were obviously some other women he'd seen. That didn't worry me particularly. I was just afraid of losing the correspondence. I would be very sad to lose the correspondence. But pretty quickly, he warmed up again. One day he wrote to say that he missed me and he wanted to see me in New York. He said he thought we needed to talk. Then I felt safe enough to be honest about my feelings without actually using the word love. February 3rd, 2006, 8:37 a.m. Subject, how I woke up. My alarm clock is the kind that plays CDs. This week I put in Jouissance. I woke up every morning hearing you singing Quiconque. It's so beautiful, that song. I think of you often, sometimes with affection, sometimes with desire, sometimes with awe, sometimes all at once.